So we did it. The homies and I played Highguard. We downloaded it last night and we played one full match. I know one full match to some people might not seem like enough to form an opinion on a game, but man, it was something. So we downloaded Highguard last night. We wanted to try something new, and we had honestly completely forgotten that it released until it came out. And after we downloaded it and we tried it out, there's a few things that I have issues with, but there's things I like and I dislike about it, to be honest. Like, it's not a terrible game. It's not the worst thing that I've ever played, because I've seen a lot of people on here. I watch a lot of like gaming news YouTubers and things like that. And I've seen a lot of people talk about how bad they think the game is, but I don't think it's really that bad, to be honest. Like, it has flaws, and I don't think that it was ready to be released just yet. But, overall, it's not terrible. I don't see myself playing more of it. If it just had more in it upon release, then maybe that would have been a little bit different. But, for example, whenever you start the game, first and foremost, it has a tutorial for you to do. The tutorial takes like roughly 15 minutes. It could be longer just depending on like how leisurely you get through it, but it's about 15 minutes to get through. And I feel like the tutorial almost makes the game seem like it has more to it than you might think, because the tutorial takes so long. So it makes you think like, oh man, this might have a lot going for it right now. But by the time you get done with the tutorial and you actually play like a match, it's really not like complicated at all. Like, it seems like there's a lot going on. There's not. Like, it just feels like a normal like hero shooter, to be honest. But it does have interesting concepts, like being able to defend your base. Like, you and the enemy team have a base, and you both have to defend them. And you have to basically reinforce the walls of the base. You reinforce like your generator rooms, because your generators are what the enemy team is trying to destroy. So you're trying to keep the generators as protected as possible. And there's a few layers of security that the teams have to go through in order to get to those generators. But you still reinforce the walls, shut the windows. Like, you have a big like bubble shield that goes over your entire base. And basically, the way matches kind of pan out, or the way it panned out for us, is we were on a team of 3. We reinforced our rooms, and we immediately just started going into the map. And the map is pretty large for a multiplayer map, and it's pretty large especially for 3v3, because it feels like like the maps are big enough to feel like it should be like, I hate to say like 8v8, 6v6. Like, it feels like it could be a lot more, but when it's 3v3, it feels like I didn't see anybody for a long time, at least not until the shield breaker showed up on the map, which is like the sword that you use to break the domes to get into people's bases. So basically, you go out into the world, you have to find chests to basically level up your character. So I guess in a way I don't know if this is going to be correct or not, but I guess in a way it's like a roguelite. In a sense, like I don't play a lot of roguelites, so I'm just assuming. If I'm wrong, you can roast me. But you basically just go out, you have your base weapons and things, but you have to find like armor, you can find legendary weapons, you can find other weapons. There's crystals that you can like harvest in the world, and you can use those crystals to basically go to a vendor, and you can buy weapons, buy ammo, buy whatever they have for sale. And on paper it sounds cool, but the thing is the map is so big, and a lot of these things are, I'm not going to say super few and far in between, but they're really, at least from what I could tell in that match that I played, there wasn't a lot. Like, we were always like fighting over like who can get to these chests first and who can loot the stuff out of it. And I feel like we only did that for maybe 2 to 3 minutes before the shield breaker was made like known on the map, and the sword. So whenever that became known, like, all the teams kind of like hone in on it, and by all the teams I mean all 2 of them. They both hone in on it, and for us, the enemy team didn't even for this match, they didn't even put up a fight to even get the sword initially. So we went and grabbed it, and After you grab the sword, you have to basically ride on horseback to the enemy's base, and you use that sword to break through that dome. I think I mentioned that earlier. But on the way there, we did encounter, like, the enemy did try to stop us a few times. That's another big hiccup in this game. Actually, when you die going against anybody, there is a 20-second respawn timer, and it feels like you are waiting forever to get back into the game. And when you respawn, like, especially if you're carrying the sword across the map and you're trying to go and break into their, like, dome, their shield, when you respawn all the way back at your base. So you have to get back on your horse, which it's not like it's hard. Like, you just press a button and then the horse is there. But it's the amount of backtracking that you have to do. Like, you can't spawn directly on people unless the character they're playing as, like, can create, like, a respawn beacon of sorts, which one of my friends was. So thankfully that we didn't have to do that terribly too long. He unintentionally laid it down and we were able to spawn closer with that beacon. But the 20-second wait time is just crazy. And then the backtracking across the entire map just to get to there, it's something else. But once we ended up getting there, we broke open the dome. They did put up a fight kind of right there at the front of their base, but it's still one of those things where once you kill all three of those players, like, especially in succession, like, boom, they're all dead pretty quickly. It takes 20 seconds for them to come back. So if you know what you're doing, like, it's not, at least for us, it was not hard to, like, kill them, get into the base, like, break down some of the walls and find the generators to destroy them. So that's what we did. Like, so we ended up going in, we broke the walls down, we found the first generator, and we ended up blowing that one up with very little resistance. And by the time we got to the last generator, which I think for us in that map was generator B, but when we got to that one they pushed back a little bit, and that's when my friend laid down, like, the respawn beacon and stuff like that, so we were able to kind of spawn in a little bit easier. But once we broke in and we killed them all again, like, it really didn't take that long, and we were able to swoop in, plant the bomb on it, and then we won. Like, we blew up the last generator, and then that was the end of the match. And I think, and maybe one of the homies can comment down below, Noah or Dave, I think that match only lasted like 8 minutes. It may have been 6, because it was really quick. Like, we were in and out. So it almost makes me think, like, why would you have this big, like, open world map that you're able to run through and do all these things in, but you're only going to be in it for, like, you're really only focused on the looting part of things for, like, a couple of minutes, and then boom, the match, like, starts. It's like, are you expected to run around and find stuff, like, during gameplay? But, like, we were able to push and get in just on the base weapons that we had without really any issues whatsoever. So, I mean, I don't know. There's things that this game could benefit with. I think it has a good, like shell of a game. I think it has the potential, like, maybe if it doesn't die in a couple of months in 2026, if it doesn't die, I think it could be pretty good. Like, I think, like, I don't know, 6 months from now, once they actually get some, like, updates under their belt and they get maybe some new game modes in there, custom games would be really cool. Like, this game with the homies would be pretty dope. We were discussing that last night too. I think there's a lot of potential there. I think that Jeff Keighley kind of shot himself in the foot, kind of hyping the game up the way that he did as the last of the Game Awards in 2025. I feel like he kind of overhyped it. He kind of oversold it. And I know that based on the stuff that I've read and seen, that was not the developer's intention. Like, they I don't even think really wanted a spot at the Game Awards until Jeff convinced them to do it. From what I understand. And that kind of sucks a little bit, because I think the original plan was for them to shadow drop that game, and they were just going to shadow drop it and just go from there and just build on it. But I think when you build, like, this monumental amount of hype, or you try to build a monumental amount of hype behind a game like this, I think it's really tough for even, like, Jeff to try to save. And the things that man was posting on Twitter about, like, people wanting to apologize to him because they're going to end up liking it so much, it just feels a little tone deaf, to be honest. It's hard to be a game like Highguard in a genre, like a hero shooter genre, where so many hero shooters already exist, and it's just really tough to kind of justify another one's existence unless it's really doing something different and something innovative. So that's where I kind of stand with Highguard. I would like to check it out in like 6 months if it ends up being updated and it gets stuff added to it. But I think for now, like, I'm going to play a second match, like, for the gameplay that you're seeing during this video, but I don't think it's doing enough for me right now. But I do think that there could be a chance that it turns around and it becomes better later on. But I'd love to know what you think. Have you guys been playing Highguard? Because we have barely been playing it, but it's not really grabbing us. So I'd love to hear what you think. Please just sound off in the comments down below. I'd love to chat with you about it, see what you guys are thinking about it. Otherwise, I will see you guys next Sunday for other videos, and keep checking out the TikToks and shorts that I make over Fallout New Vegas lore. And I'll be branching out on those eventually, but the focus now is Fallout New Vegas, and we'll kind of branch out once I either get tired of looking at New Vegas on my video editor, or I want to swap to a different game and kind of explore other avenues. But otherwise, hope you're having a good one, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.